Well, prepare yourself, guys. Chris with T3 Medias, and look, I'm gonna start. I guess I'm doing something new right here. I'm testing out the new equipment. I got a little camera one, camera two action going on here. I'm pretty proud of it, and I was going through some of the stuff online, and I was like, you know, what's going on, man? Let's talk about a few things, and then once again, it happened. It baffles me how many times this keeps happening. Let me test this out. What's going on, man? It happened again. It's another teacher sex scandal, and for years when this was really popping off, I was fascinated by how often this really happens. Let me tell you a backstory. When I was in high school, one of my favorite teachers, his name is Mr. McQuarrie. No, he's not the topic of this. He told me a story about another English teacher who was in a scandal. I was like, one day I was talking to him. I said, "Hey, Mr. McQuarrie, whatever happened to Mr. Broussard? Maybe was his name. I can't remember." And he goes, "Don't ever bring up that asshole to me again." I'm like, "What happened?" Well, he was having sex with a young a freshman girl. I guess the exchange, do this for me for grades and whatnot. And yeah, and that was like, I remember thinking like that stuff happens and whatnot. I've seen it in movies. I've seen it on the news when I was a little kid and stuff. But I never experienced like in my school sex scandals. If there's one in your neck of the woods, your area, one you came across, and your country, if you're in a different country, I don't care. Send it to me, and I want to break down. I want to talk to professionals. I want to talk to everybody, whatever your opinion is. Just the psychosis of this, how do you keep, there was one teacher I can't remember. I remember when her husband caught her, and they usually get caught the same way. The parents find out, or the kids snitch on themselves, right, or just tell. And the text message was like, or the voice message was like pinky promise, and this like her husband heard all these messages, were like, that doesn't even sound like my wife. Like one person was like, these women are like regressing. Like you're a 30-year-old woman, you're messing with a 13-year-old boy, and you're talking like a 13, 14-year-old girl. Like, what is going on? Are you trying to capture something that you lost back in the day? Dude, I can't call it, man. But I mean, I'm not a professional, so let me know, man. What do you guys think is happening with all these situations? So if you have one that you came across that fascinated you or just shocked you and whatnot, you want me to cover it, I'm going to talk about it. But today I'm going to talk about one that the one that got me all up in arms. And I want to let me see if I can get this right here working. Yeah, I gotta turn off this camera here. Nope, wrong one. Or is it this one? Camera one, camera two. Here we go. So there she is. There's this lady right here named is it Miss Zoe? Is it Brittany? Brittany Zamora. And that was what caught, because I was thinking about Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm like, what? Zamora? So Brittany Zamora. And it says, and I guess it's paraphrasing or quoting what she's probably said on one of these text messages. And on this website, lawandcrime.com. And it's under the category of crazy. I want you every day. Ex-Arizona teacher pleads guilty to having sex with a 13-year-old student. Now that's the part that caught me right. They didn't even say boy or girl, just said student. Usually that's what gets people. I even got upset one time when people were breaking down the whole what is statutory rape or what is rape if the teacher is a woman and the student is a boy. I remember a long time, like there was some sickies out there, like really, like are you defending the female teacher over the male? Like the male teachers, they're the ones that really need to burn in hell and go under the jail because they're a guy actually penetrating and doing this or doing that to a female and stuff and whatnot. So the female teacher just gets to skate? Why? To fulfill your little fantasies? Oh, I wish that was me when I was a kid. Like, what are you talking about? What are we talking about here? So the fact that this keeps happening not only fascinated me, but the reactions of people, and that's what I want. I want this conversation to go, because I'm gonna make this into a whole playlist on this channel, because it fascinated me. So let me read into this real quick. What this person talking about here. So this is by Jeremy Silk Smith. It's a cool name. A married former Arizona middle school teacher pleaded guilty on Monday to having a sexual relationship with one of her students. Brittany Zamora, 28, was accused of seducing a 13-year-old male student in lurid text messages and having sex with him on multiple occasions. I want you every day without limit. Dang. Zamora wrote in a series of text messages. If I could quit my job and you all day long, I would. Police said this relationship resulted in at least 4 sexual encounters between February and March of 2018. 2 of those instances allegedly occurred in Zamora's car. It's always the damn car. After the teenager snuck out of his grandparents' house after midnight upon Zamora's request. Another such instance was said to have occurred in Zamora's classroom following a school talent show. Reality is always more crazier than fiction. You know how many jokes right there off the top of people's head? Some people like talent show right there. That's why I stopped. I'm like, dude. Cops even said that there was an incident where the student fondled the two fondled each other while unaware students watched the video. The boy's parent caught on to his newfound interest in privacy and installed a parental notification app on his phone to alert them to 2 back-to-back text messages containing the word baby. The parents asked him who sent those messages. My teacher, he told them. Students had gone to the principals to tell them that their teacher was in a relationship with one of their students and that the boy doesn't do any work and gets straight A's. Principal Tim Dickey determined that the evidence could only prove that the teacher favored the student, but not favored the student, but not there was anything illegal going on. Right there. The second the allegation is in your face, dude, what you immediately think that these principals are in a circle the wagons mode. Oh, well, we did our own internal investigation. Really? You did you? Then how come the cops was able to figure, how come the parents wait, hey baby, on a text message, is that her phone number? You're fucking guilty. Like, what kind of investigation? You know what that principal, you know what Tim Dickey was doing? Protecting his ass. Who knows? Check his ass out. Maybe he was trying to say, hey, if you're willing to have sex with students, if I cover your ass and save your job, maybe you'll do some freaky shit with me. Dude's like, dude, go. That's probably exactly what his ass was doing. You never know, man. You never know. Let's see. Dickey determined that the evidence could only prove that the teacher favored the student, but not that they were having anything illegal going on. A few weeks later, Dickey went to the police after the boy's parents discovered sexts their son had engaged in exchange with Zamora. Every time I say this is Zamora, I think Zamora offered to resign in a phone call with the boy's parents so that they would not call the police. I don't want to say stuff and have me recorded right now and bring this to court and have me go to jail for the rest of my life, Zamora allegedly said during the phone call. Zamora pleaded guilty to molestation of a child, sexual misconduct with a minor, and public sexual indecency. Zamora's sentencing is set for this July. She faces at least 20 years in prison for the sexual misconduct charges. The victim's parents has also filed a civil lawsuit against Zamora, her husband, and the Liberty Elementary. Is this that story where when the husband found out, he called and was like, look, my wife is sick. Can we just resolve this ourselves? I think I heard this shit happening last year. Okay. Her husband in the Liberty Elementary School District, Arizona Central, reported. Keep scrolling. And that's it. That's it for that one. Dude. Let me keep looking into this. Now, all right, let me check out some stuff on YouTube. I already listened to that one. That was nothing. The Inside Edition. Inside Edition is always on it. Oh, we got her. Inside Edition ain't ever fucking around. Let me see if I can get this one to play before I fade out. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us. First at 10 from the 12 News I-Team. You're about to hear recorded police interviews from the Brittany Zamora investigation.
She's the former 6th grade teacher accused
and they're
of
always
sexually
very,
abusing one of her students,
attractive women.
Boy.
What are they
Tonight
trying to
we're hearing what that
recapture
young victim and a classmate
in their
told
lives?
detectives.
Team 12's Antonia Mejia has gone through
Go back in
hours
time
of
and be
taped
13 years
interviews.
old
And
again?
Antonia, what are you learning tonight?
Were you having a
That
fantasy
Mark
about
Weston
teachers when you were little?
detectives
And then now that you're a
on the
teacher,
lookout at Las Brisas
I
Academy
don't
in
get it.
Goodyear, while Zamora and his friend,
Zamora.
the 13-year-old boy in the sexual abuse case, were involved in sexual acts in the classroom. Now, we do want to warn you, the details you're about to hear
Why is she
may be
talking like
considered
that?
disturbing, and we also are reading the transcripts of the boys' responses to police to protect their identities.
That's the
Time
kind
we
of woman
kissed,
that'll
like,
be.
I was saying bye to her and I gave her a hug and she like started kissing me, so I kissed her back.
A 13-year-old boy questioned by Goodyear police. Detectives asking him about his 6th grade teacher, Brittany Zamora. The boy telling investigators Zamora came to his house 2 nights in a row and waited for him to sneak out and get into her car.
So then you said that she got on top of you.
Mm-hmm.
And whose idea was that?
Hers.
Hers.
The boy says both late-night encounters turned sexual. The tapes go on to reveal a second victim in this case, another one of Zamora's students.
I was one of the witnesses, one of the people that saw Ms. Zamora and my friend touch each other.
This younger boy says he would have to guard the classroom door while Zamora was inside with his 13-year-old friend.
Was Miss Zamora saying anything?
What
No, they were just
fantasy or sick, twisted lifestyle are you trying to live
I just left the room.
in the
The
school
second
with
boy would
13-year-old
describe an
boys?
inappropriate encounter he had with Zamora.
Guard the door.
Zamora asked if
What
my
the
thing was,
hell?
uncircumcised or circumcised, and I didn't know what that means. So Ms. Zamora went on her phone and looked up uncircumcised and circumcised.
He says she never went beyond inappropriate remarks with him.
She hasn't touched me or anything.
Come on.
But the 28-year-old teacher was arrested.
I guess I wanted to give you the opportunity because there really is very little doubt on what happened.
Can I wait to have an attorney?
You can.
Okay, can I have an attorney? You can. Oh, that means we're coming after you hardcore.
Court later on this year, of course, the 12 News I-Team will be there, and we'll send all of that information back to you guys.
All right, Antonia, thank you.
It just fascinates me how it just you're trying to get one student to. It just fascinates me how this keeps happening. Text messages, the fact that you're talking to a 13, 12, 14, 15, don't matter, 17, 16-year-old. For one, boys don't keep secrets. They tell everybody. And two, what is in these women's brain that they're like on the hunt? And sometimes I look at them and I'm like, you weren't thinking about doing any of these things before. And I say there's a reason. There's never an excuse, but there's to me a reason. And some of them try to say, well, my husband did this and did that. The husbands are always the ones that after the shit really hits the fan, oh man, you think politician wives don't turn on their spouses fast enough on scandals? These are all husbands. The embarrassment. You can't please your wife or no. Dude, guys go through something crazy. It's one thing, like you find out your spouse was cheating on you. For it to be a younger man, ooh, that hits your ego. For it to be an illegal situation, and then the guy that I don't know if this is the person I was thinking about, where the husband was trying to help cover it up because he didn't want his wife to go to jail. That's love right there, dude. You must really love your wife. If you thinking about that, what else are you not thinking about though? What about if y'all have children? Come on, dude. You gotta. I mean, would she be protected but watching your back like that? And if you were having sex with, dude, that's why the politicians' wives that always stood by when their husbands was going through all that crap. Like, no. Teachers' husbands and wives, when the shit really hits the fan, they are gone. And these politician wives that used to stand by their man or woman back in the day, y'all could have learned something from these teacher wives, because a lot of them did stand by. I remember some of them, they stood by their husband or their wives that was in that scandal. Probably more wives than anything. But the fact that, oh my God, that's even some of these parents would stand by would blow my mind, because it's just something weird. But the ones that didn't, they were like, nope. They came out of they made sure to get on the news the next day. No, I'm not doing that. No. She was all in on her own. I had nothing. I was out of town. All those times that those, man, they make sure of it. But it blows my mind on how often it's happening. I want to check out one teacher sex is 13. You're so cute. Here's one of her in court. And let's see if this
shocking.
This is Inside Edition again. Let's fade this out real fast and let's play it.
Shocking new details are emerging about a 6th grade teacher accused of having sex with her 13-year-old student. Texts allegedly sent to the teen by elementary school teacher Brittany Zamora were just released by prosecutors.
Now she's an elementary school teacher? I thought she was a middle school teacher.
LOL, you're so cute, baby. I wish you could have stayed after with me, she wrote. He answered, me too. I wish we could just hang out together whenever we wanted. Baby, I know what you mean. You're all I think about. You will be my wife one day in this crazy life. She wrote back, I'll give you whatever you want, baby. The 27-year-old teacher allegedly met the student for sex on 4 occasions and sent him nude selfies.
She's not just having a sexual relationship with him, but she's professing her love for him. It's truly strange and bizarre.
Lawyer Russ Richelsoff represents the young man's parents, who are suing the school district outside Phoenix.
We've seen videos of the
guy in the right hand corner. You can see the guy he's talking to.
Interacting
with Skype.
Brittany Zamora, and the way that Brittany Zamora is interacting with him is clearly, while it's not sexual in nature, it's clearly inappropriate.
The teacher is married. Her husband,
they always pull the footage.
Nuclear Power Company posted this video showing how he proposed to her after going skydiving in 2015.
All right, group, Mr. and Mrs. Zamora.
They were married that same year. In one text, the 6th grade student warned the teacher, your husband gonna flip out.
Dude, it's just crazy. It's crazy to me how it just, how is that happening right there? It's just crazy to me how it just keeps happening over and over and over again. And I don't know, man. I have no way of figuring out, or do I really want to figure out why these teachers keep doing this. And it's just so odd to me that how they'll talk to a student. It's like they're done, it's like they're regressing and going back in time or something. I don't know. But like I said, like if there's a bunch of these stories that happen too often out there, and it blows my mind how usually the ones that shock me the most are the ones where it's so many students, and those situations where a lot of people were knowing it was happening and this and that and the other. And with the movie like Ma that just came out, it's amazing that more of these situations don't end in even more the tragedy on top of it that's already happening that they don't end in an even darker, like more often that that people are getting like beat up. Husbands will flip out, man. Wives will flip out finding it out. Some people will instead of attacking their own spouse, they'll attack the other person. Could you imagine that? I mean, it's surprise. I mean, a guy finding out or a woman finding out that their spouse is cheating and whatnot. What did they get caught right in the act? People get guns thinking somebody broke in the house. Things like it blows my mind how often these stories are happening. And then typical guys say the same thing. Well, it's funny how they all look the same. They're usually very attractive women and whatnot. And I don't know what the phenomenon is on it, but it to me there is one. It just blows my mind each and every time it comes up. And you think you got to a point where it's not happening as often. Then you go and really dig, and it's like, dude, almost every month, every week, every day, there's a new story. No, I'll cover it. Let me know if the craziest ones are that you've come across. I think there's some that I haven't read in a while, because I mean I got kids and I'm like, dude, after a while that stuff starts to scare the shit out of you. But I'll make this into an ongoing series, because it just blows my mind. And if you're a professional psychiatrist, psychologist, or whatever the difference is, if you can explain to me what is going on in these people's brains, that this is continuing to, because you will have a teacher where it's like they have no history of ever being inappropriate with a minor. And the second they get into the school, it could be maybe their first year, third year. It's probably a teacher that's been doing it for years. I mean, teaching for years. And then all of a sudden, what happens? You see a kid and a light switch goes off. Some of them would say, well, the problems in my marriage. So you want to, not only do you want to add the problems with your marriage, having an affair is one thing. If you get caught, then the divorce and all, that's one thing. If you're doing it with another student, another coworker, or another teacher, or something like that, or another guy or girl somewhere else, that's of age. That's one thing. That's problems right on its own. But to then go for the illegal, messing with the head of and the life of a child, putting yourself through this court system to wait for this? For what? What the real, where you just, it blows my mind. Like I said, it baffles me. I don't get it. So let me know what you guys think. Put it in the box, and let's keep talking about this, guys. Until next time, guys, hey, peace.